Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the PAPAJO Show, where PAPAJO knows. I am your host, PAPAJO. Thanks for being here today. We're going to take a look at Ledger, some news around Ledger. We're going to hear it from the mouth of the CTO of what some things that they are talking about there in that different scenarios. And we're also going to jump into a few options that I myself have come up with, over the time. Those of you who know me, I've been in the crypto space since almost the beginning. I was one of the earlier miners. Often I had some ideas back then. I'm a technologist, and I kind of created my own methods to store and protect crypto, because back then there were no seed phrases. There was no thought, oh, I need to back this up. That's how far back I go in the space. So anyways, nowadays we have these hardware devices, and we have all these wallets, and I really, really, really have other wallets and ideas around what that might look like and how you can store and keep your crypto safe, secure, offline, and self-custody at the same time. I also have options for custodians that actually custodian your crypto if that is your choice. They are more institutional style of doing it, and there's very few in the space that do it properly, that actually hold your crypto on your behalf, and it is yours. It isn't traded. It isn't used for um, fractional reserve banking, where they they need you to deposit crypto so that way, or buy crypto that way they can buy it and give it to you and things like that. No, it is an account that is just simply custodying your crypto. But anyhow, we will look at those things towards the end of the show here, as well as get into some of the nuts and bolts of what's going on. But first, right off the bat here, I'm going to play the recording, the announcement from I think this is the CTO. Yes, he is the CTO. All right, so we'll jump into that right now and get into it, shall we? Let's see how this works. If it'll play.
Hello, I'm Charles Guillemet, CTO at Ledger. I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce a new service. Recover is an optional subscription for users who want a backup of their secret recovery phrase so they can restore access to their wallets whenever, wherever, even if they have lost or broken their Ledger mailer and don't have their recovery sheet with them. For some people, it's a very convenient service, but some others simply don't need it. You can continue managing your secret recovery phrase all by yourself if that's why you bought a ledger at the first place. This is not automatically enabled by any firmware updates. This is your choice. Self custody is at the core of our offering, and your secret recovery phrase is created on your device. We have no access to it. This will never change. We are uncompromising about security, and that will never change. If you choose to subscribe, Ledger Recover encrypts your secret recovery phrase and splits it into 3 fragments. All of this happens inside the secure element chip, so your private key is never at risk. These encrypted fragments are stored by 3 different parties on hardware security modules. In this process, Ledger and our trusted providers have no access to your secret recovery phrase. There's no backdoor for anyone, neither us, a provider, or even a very gifted hacker to access it. Individually, these encrypted fragments are completely useless. When you want to restore your keys, 2 of these 3 parties will send back their fragments to your Ledger device, which will be able to recombine your secret recovery phrase and allow you to access back your wallet. Decryption can only happen on the Ledger secure element chip after identity verification. The split, encryption, or decryption happens on your Ledger device and does not involve any other party than you. Nobody within Ledger or outside Ledger ever has access to it. Self-custody remains and will always be the core principle of Ledger. The ethos of self-custody is that it's your choice. You can choose to manage all your assets completely by yourself, or you can have a backup with Ledger Recover. It's up to you.
Okay. Now, while they have a product that is self-custody, and I'm not necessarily knocking the technology or the thought process behind it. It is not well baked enough, and effectively what they are doing here, just so that we can all um, understand. Ledger has announced, as you just heard, they will be providing an optional backup solution. It's optional, but the thing is that it's in a firmware update. So if you update your firmware, you get that. So that can come along with bugs. And if anyone understands how you update firmware, for what it's worth, is you plug it into a device. That device can be compromised. Be looking for the older firmware that people are going to now refuse to update to the newer one. And they're going to look for that older firmware with exploits potentially in it and grab those private keys the moment it plugs into the device. Do you understand how dangerous this is for those who are using this device? Yes, it's self-custody. We have no access to it, and that's true. They don't. But somebody who's a hacker could somehow compromise the laptop or the computer you plug your ledger into to do your transactions and whatnot. And instead of you updating your firmware, they could be looking for the firmware and the errors on there now and find the holes and exploit everything in it. Do you understand? Okay. So something else that they're going to do, they're going to take the option here is to take your seed phrases and split it up into 3 separate, we'll call it fractors, or shards. We'll call them shards because that's what they are really. Those will then get pushed to 3 separate custodians who will hold them, and you will have to get up to obtain or to unlock or to move your crypto off that device. You'll have to have 2/3 of those, and you will have to provide KYC documents to the custodians to be able to get them back in the first place. Sounds like no. No. It's not open sourced. It's not, there's a whole bunch of things around it that is just not okay. All right. I have never used a Ledger or a Trezor. Ledger's been hacked. Trezor's been hacked as well, but Trezor, you have to have physical access to the device and the time to get into it, et cetera, et cetera. If a device is hacked or removed or whatever, you could effectively not have it there anymore. Anyways, just to point some things out here for y'all. Just if you're using a Ledger, I don't want to tell y'all what to do, but there are other and better ways to store your crypto. We'll kind of get into that here right now, where you can actually go buy an iPhone SE or something that you have. I say buy that because it is shrink wrapped from the manufacturer. You're not buying it from a third party. Something that's net new. Okay. Use it as your crypto only device. Don't do anything but crypto on that device. Take your seed words, put them where they need to go. People are like, oh, we don't want to use the papers anymore. There's other ways to do that. You could literally have the device sitting in your hand here and a computer that is offline. Take a text pad in the computer, write it down, save it to a USB drive, unplug the USB drive, and then there's no trace of it. Don't even save it to your hard drive on your laptop, your device. Save it directly to the thumb drive. Put the thumb drive somewhere. If you want to keep it electronically, print it off on a device that's not connected to a printer that cannot connect to a network. Stuff like that. Very, 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 very easy ways to store your crypto that are not utilizing a third party. You can create your own. I mean, good grief. You could even use a paper wallet printed on fire-resistant paper. Put it in your safe. There's all kinds of other ways to do this that do not involve a third party. Now, if you want a third party, look into Viva Capital. They have an actual custodian platform that allows you to store your crypto there. Have insurance as an option for it. If something does die, you can insure it, blah, blah, blah. If anything goes crazy, there's still an insurance policy attached to it, that kind of stuff. There is more for an institutional style of holding your crypto. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. They have done very well. I have done lots of things I actually advise for them. Okay. There's lots of things they offer for their customers. One of them is true crypto custodian. Your account's your account. It sits in your account. If you want it back, you can have it back. It's yours. Viva actually has no control over that. It is through other third parties who are, in fact, some of the most regulated and top-notch custodian platforms in the world. Do your research, dig into it. I have, and I wouldn't be advising for them or with them, if you will, if it didn't make sense. Okay. Another thing to kind of think of here, when you have your crypto-only device, put that in your safe. Put your crypto on there, put it away. The cool thing about that is every time you turn on that device to do anything with it, you'll get an over-the-air update for the operating system on the device. You don't have to connect it to anything else. It comes from the manufacturer over the air. If you have it connected to the Wi-Fi in your house, instead of having service on it, still it's connected to Wi-Fi. It's not connecting to another device that could be compromised. It's not compromised because it's sitting in a safe or wherever. Okay. The applications, say the wallet, say you have the Divi wallet on there, you have the Exodus wallet, you have Trust wallet. I can go down the list. Those are on there. Guess what? Those get patched too. So those get patched over the air. They're not connecting it to a device. It is still basically a ledger, except it automatically gets updated. You don't have to update it. You don't have to force it. There's not a firmware that's there. And if something you don't like comes down the pipe, then you can move it down, move it off. I have had customers come to me with millions on ledgers and Trezors because there's a one-time write your seed words down thing that takes place. If you forget your seed words, if you don't write it down properly, you can't go back and review them, that kind of thing. And you put your crypto on there, guess what? It's gone forever. Okay, there's not a recovery for it, and they tell you that. And then his whole thing, the CTO was like, you know what? We at Ledger have no access to your stuff. No, they don't, but the third parties will have those shards. And guess what? If the third parties hold those shards and then the government or whoever bad guys come around and say, give us the seed words for everybody, and then they can match them up and have control over you again. There's lots of other ways to do this, guys. Don't use your personal everyday device, your phone. Get a device that's specifically for your cryptos. And don't use Ledger. I'm telling y'all, I'm not giving you financial advice. That's technology advice. This is how you safely secure your cryptos without dealing with stupid. There's a reason why I keep talking about Divi. The Divi project. Hang on. They have actually built an ecosystem. Have a wallet that I have not seen before. Go to diviwallet.com. That is where you go. Scan this to download the wallet. Don't go to the App Store. Some people can actually build wallets. I'm not saying no anyone has with Divi or anything like that. I'm just pointing out that there have been other wallets out there that have been nefarious that someone put into the App Store. Even though there's checks and balances, you can skirt by those in some regard. If you go to their website, it takes you directly to their download that they have posted. And I highly recommend this wallet. You can buy crypto on it. You can sell crypto on it. You can actually, and as soon as you buy it, it's immediate self-custody. Ledger doesn't offer that. Other cryptos don't either. They have a vertically integrated solutions. They're VSaaS, which is very, very cool. Software as a service. They're actually helping integration for, say, retailers who want to accept crypto. I don't know. There's lots of stuff. NFT 2.0, you can actually get the liquidity out of your NFTs. There's loyalty program, interoperability. They want to work with everyone who is willing to work with them. They have season tickets with La Liga in the pipeline. This is huge, y'all. La Liga was a big partnership. Y'all go do your research, but I'm telling you, something like this on a device that sits in a safe, that the only purpose of the device is to use for crypto. It's not much different than your ledger. The only thing is this gets over the air updated. Please don't fall victim to somebody not wanting to update to the new firmware because they don't want the new features, and then that device gets compromised because someone somewhere wrote a virus or some sort of exploit, and it's just sitting there dormant on your device. You don't know it's there, but the moment you connect that ledger to it, it wakes up, pulls the private and pulls the keys off the ledger, and you're none the wiser, and it reports back home to whoever put it there. You'll never know until the cryptos are moved off that ledger and gone. forever. Okay? I am telling you guys, steer clear of ledger, steer clear of treasure. You will there are look, you can't be 100% in any way. If you got to understand everything's compromised. You got to be careful. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. Y'all do what you want to do. It's your decision at the end of the day. Ledger, Trezor, whatever. I personally will not be using them just simply because I do not like that. I have used them. I have tested them. I will not use them. I will not touch them anymore. As also, I have, like I said, have had many people come to me, help me get my crypto off this ledger or Trezor. It's stuck. And I'm like, yeah, it's gone because there isn't a way to restore it if you don't have the seed words. And it really, really pains me to say that a lot. Anyhow, y'all have a beautiful, blessed rest of the day. I have to jump for another meeting. I know we're a little short on time today, but I'm going to come through and say, hey, there's not very many people in the chat. Those of you who are watching, do me a favor, smash the likes. Do appreciate it. Good afternoon, Lithia. It's good to see you. Daddy-O, roughly 8 a.m. hour every day, silver spikes to get hammered. It's just weird almost every day. Nice observation, my friend. Good to see you. Let's see. Manny, what's going on, brother? Thanks for being here today. It's been a little bit. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being part of the show. We got Trinity Man. What's going on, dude? Hopefully you and the family are doing well. It's good to see you. Let's see who else is here. Daddy, that is a good point. Everything is risk. Paper wallets, metal. So if you want to take it another an even deeper layer, you could print or have etched on a piece via laser onto a debit card size thing or whatever, credit card size thing. Kind of like no, never mind. That is a piece of metal, but it's not the right size. Anyhow, just have something like a business card type thing where it's literally etched in metal. Lots of ways to do that, y'all. Lots of ways to keep your stuff safe. So anyhow, I'm going to jump. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed rest of the day. Take it easy. And yeah, keep your stuff safe. Keep your crypto safe. Keep it safe. It's going to be a crazy time when people start realizing these things. And it's funny that Ledger, they're sitting there saying, people are like, this isn't what we want. Customers are like, this isn't what we want. This isn't what it is about. This isn't what we want. And the CEO simply responds, actually, this is what the future customers want. What future customers? The U.S. government? The people who want to get a hold of this stuff? No. Do your research. Hopefully this is part of it. Make your own decisions. You're all adults. I personally won't be touching them. And after I've seen people lose their money, I just won't do it. Go get you a device. Put your Divvy wallet, your Exodus wallet, Trust wallet, whatever. Just make sure it's something you can pull your seed words down and your private keys. Store them offline. Piece of paper. Type them out on an offline computer. There's lots of ways to do this. These are just ideas. I'm not even mentioning what I've done. Again, for security. These are just ideas. Simple, easy ways that keep it safer and secure, more secure, in my opinion, than a ledger or a treasure. Anyhow, y'all beautiful, blessed, amazing rest of the day. Talk to you later. Take it easy. See ya.